Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is The Pain of Loving You by Trio. I think maybe the official name of this group. I don't know. It is a trio with Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylour Harris. So I've kind of always known of Dolly Parton. I know her voice a little bit. I'm getting to know Linda Ronstadt even better now because I've been doing reactions of her music on the channel. She has a fantastic voice. I don't know Emmylour Harris, so this will be a new acquaintance for me vocally. And these three together, this is very curious, very interesting. So we'll see how this all comes together. But what else might we be looking for here? I'm a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we dive in to all of the compositional aspects, the instruments that were used, some form and analysis, maybe some instrument demos, and of course, how do we relate to this music? Why do we like it? Or maybe why do we not like it? Again, I am super curious to find out what this is all about, so no more delay. Let's listen. Okay, here we go.
Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through, never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you. You just can't stand to see me happy. Seem you hurt me all you can.
Okay. All right. I think some of my questions are starting to be answered here. I was like, how are the voices going to come together is what I was thinking. Again, I know Dolly's voice and I'm getting to know Linda's voice, and I was like, those two are almost unusual to put together. But then again, I didn't know Emmylou's voice, but I think that was her the first time. And in the opening, the chorus, which by the way was so neat, it was just heavenly. They do blend really well. They really do. I heard Dolly's voice on top. And so Emmylour is now singing. She's more mid-range, so I'm assuming Linda is on the bottom voice of the three, but I don't know. Okay, and now there are just a couple of different vocal techniques, like the vibrato of, I believe that was Emmylour, like I said, singing right there. Her vibrato is a little bit slower, a little bit wider, and sometimes Linda's vibrato can also sound the same way. And again, vibrato is when you sing a note and it wiggles a little bit like that. That's vibrato. And Dolly's vibrato, I think, is faster, if I remember correctly. But it's not just the vibrato, it's the tone of their voices. It really does blend. Okay, but do they get to switch around? Can Dolly sing that low? Because I know Linda can sing that high. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's just keep going.
Still I go on loving you, but I never understand. Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through, never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you. To love and hate.
Okay, yeah, this is fun. This is fun. So I know this is probably a little bit different than the average reaction that I do here on the channel. I've done a lot of hard rock, heavy metal, symphonic metal, prog rock, progressive rock, grunge. But we have had some lighter things, things that feature solo voices, crossing a little bit over into country just a little bit, maybe a little bit of bluegrass, a little jazz, blues, soul, R&B, funky. We're working on it. We're trying to get as much of a variety here on the channel as we can. And this is kind of something a little new here on the channel. So this is great. I loved the country style. It's more like old country. I'm not particularly the biggest country music fan, but I do like older style of music, like some Glenn Miller into 40s, and then some of the old country stars. Before Dolly Parton's time, of course, she sort of took that over, but it's sort of holds hands with bluegrass a little bit. I do like bluegrass a lot, especially the newer versions of bluegrass that sort of integrates electronic music into it. They call it newgrass. I really like that a lot. Like the Punch Brothers. Awesome. Yeah. So this group, it's more of a bluegrass country cross. I love the mandolin, the guitar, the steel guitar. We had an excellent little instrumental interlude there. Excellent. And fiddle, except I think it was a viola because it went way down lower than what a violin can do. So I think that was a viola, a country viola, but still their voices. So I think I heard a duet with Dolly and Emmylour, and then Linda came back in for the chorus again. I think that Dolly and Emmylour sort of blend together more. Well, I don't know. I feel like Dolly and Linda are kind of far apart on the spectrum as far as tone goes, and Emmylour is kind of in the middle and is like the pivot, point between the two, kind of joins the blend together. But when all three are singing together, it really sounds like it was a group that was meant to be. So as we keep going here, I want to keep seeing, like, is there going to be a duet? We heard, I think, Dolly and Emmylour together. We're going to hear, what are the combinations here?
The same time, when I'm between the two is fine. The two has bound me heart and soul, so strong that I can't let you go. Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through. Never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the pain of loving you.
Okay, yeah. So definitely lower than a violin. Even that last note, boom, down there is too low for a violin. So it's got to be a country viola. Did I hear a little bit of a cello? Or maybe it was a string bass that was using a bow in there. Something, I thought I heard even lower instrument than that for just a moment. But again, the blend of the voices. So I don't think we heard Linda doing just a duet with the other two. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe they do blend that well. I don't think I heard that, though. I think it was just Dolly and Emmylour and then Linda joining in for the trio. And so by the end, I was able to pick out Linda's voice, but it took a while. I had to sort of identify what Emmylour's voice sounded like. So she's definitely mid-range, and I think often that also is the melody, which is why then she got a little bit of a solo towards the beginning. Her voice, like I said, it's that mid-range in the middle, but there's something kind of nasally about her voice, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad term. But she does have sort of a richer tone in her range, but then she sort of hollows it out by sort of singing through her nose just a little tiny bit, and she has a wider vibrato, like I said. So Dolly, her voice is way up there. And you can even hear that in her speaking voice. She has a higher range speaking voice. So that's the sweet spot way up there. And then she does have that faster vibrato. Linda, though, she sings way all the way up and down. She's got a great range, but she has the lower alto contralto range. And so when she comes in with those, bass notes, it really fills the whole thing up. And then she can control her vibrato to go a little bit on the slow side. And I think I'm hearing that she's sort of matching more Emmylou's vibrato speed rather than Dolly. But Dolly's voice is so high and shimmery up there that her vibrato works up there. When the three of them sing together, it really is amazing. I mean, at first I really could barely discern them from one another, just a little bit with Dolly on top. And I did kind of wish we could hear Linda a little bit more, but that's okay. This was an entire album, apparently, that came out in 1987 that they did together. So this particular song might not feature Linda, but that's okay. There might be others. But you know what? I need to check out the lyrics. A lot of you know that I hear the music first and then the lyrics. So the music has kind of spoken to me quite a bit already, but let's hear what the actual words are trying to say too. Oh, the pain of loving you, oh, the misery I go through, never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you. Yeah. That's a great chorus. It has so many O's and oohs. Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through, never knowing what to do. Oh, the pain of loving you. That just lends itself to a really fulfilling sound in a chorus. Because in those two vowel shapes, O and ooh, you can get a lot of tone in the voice where the sound really spins and like in the mouth and in your head. And so when you project that out, it's going to really make a neat sound. And so that right there is going to add to the really neat tone of this trio. It'll help them blend together because they do have different voices, which is why it's so neat that they come together and sound the same. It was really neat. Okay, verse 1. You just can't stand to see me happy. Seems you hurt me all you can. Still I go on loving you, but I never understand. Oh my. And then the chorus again. Oh, the pain of loving you. Verse 2. To love and hate at the same time. The line between the two is fine. The two have bound me heart and soul. So strong that I can't let you go. Okay, so I don't know. Is there like somewhat is there like trauma bonding happening here? I don't know. I don't mean to pathologize here, but love is blind. Love. What are all the different sayings about love? That love hurts. Okay. So good things and bad things within love, and it sounds like this person is having kind of a rough time and sort of sitting on the fence of like, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know if they're saying that it's worth it or not. Well, at least I'm glad that this kind of deep feeling, I mean, that could be a pretty hard thing to deal with for someone in a relationship. And so it's really nice that it is wrapped up in this sort of nicer sounding, not happy. It's almost happy. It's just upbeat sounding song. So you can sort of think of these deeper feelings, but not get dragged down too much by it because of the upbeat sound for the song. I like that. That's great. So you can listen to it and think the deep part of that if you wish, and if not, you can sort of be swept away in the nicer, more upbeat feel of the song. So let's go back to the beginning and hear how this all started. Nice little mandolin and acoustic guitar.
Oh, the pain of loving you. Oh, the misery I go through. Never
That's great.
knowing what to do.
So they really come together on knowing. So if you listen to the vowel sounds, that's where the human voice can really capitalize on that tone, like I was saying with the O and the oo, but then also the knowing, right? That one was a good one. The oo sound that they're using is a more shallow oo. It's almost like an umlauted oo rather than an oo. In more formal choral singing, we would say oo. But they're saying you, which is totally fine. That is the style for this type of singing. It would sound weird if suddenly they got all formal, of knowing you, that would be kind of weird. So I'm just noticing how much they're matching the vowel sounds. And also the you, instead of you, the you kind of sounds a little more nasally, just a little bit like that. So I can see how they're utilizing all of this. But the three of them together just are really, really neat. And there is like a little sparkle, especially of Dolly's voice, that pops out. Just every once, it's like a little twinkle of a star in the sky. All right, let's keep going forward.
Loving you, you just can't stand.
So here's Emmylour.
See me happy.
You hear a little bit kind of little nasally, just a little bit. But okay. All you can. How it almost turns into a whisper there, and also playing with the break. You hear, the passaggio between the chest voice and the head voice, even though she's singing like right in the middle there in between them. But then we hear Dolly's shimmer come in. Fabulous. And you can hear her faster vibrato. Yeah, now I can't tell if maybe Dolly is using a wider vibrato there. So I say that I've heard her before, but I don't own any of her albums. I've never sat down to listen. I've seen 9 to 5, like I know that movie, and I know what she sounds like. But maybe I need to know more, because maybe she does have more variation with her vibrato. Well, again, Dolly and Emmylour are a perfect blend up there together, but you know what? Emmylour and Linda are also a perfect blend. But I think I'm going to stand by saying that Linda and Dolly would not necessarily be the most perfect blend. If you put them together, they would just sound like two different instruments playing together in tandem. And that is okay. It's neat to have two different textures and tones in there. But how Emmylour brings it all together is really, really neat. And she can pivot between the two. I think I'm going to have to hear another song, though, where Linda is featured a little bit more and also put side by side more with Dolly. This is very interesting. Again, I loved the viola, the fiddle. Not fiddle, it's viola. Let's hear. Yeah, see, that's C string range. That's too low for violin.
Love and hate at the same time. The line between the two is fine. The two has bound.
There, you can hear Linda.
Heart and soul.
And Linda has an interesting tone, and I've said this in some of the reactions to her music, where it's almost a swallowed kind of sound, da, instead of da. It's just a little bit more swallowed, and for some reason, when she goes up into her higher range, when she sings that way, it matches the tones of the other two even more. I'm just hearing this. Let's keep going.
So strong that I can't let you go. Oh, the pain of loving you.
Yeah, she's down there.
Oh, the misery I go through. Never knowing what to do.
Yeah, okay, I heard Linda there.
Oh, the pain of loving you.
Yeah, she's way down here. So she's really opening up and being more deep with her voice down there. But when she goes, no, she kind of goes to that, swallowed tone again, way up high. So obviously I can't do it justice, but this is really, really fascinating how all three voices are put together. Okay, so that was the sweet trio of Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylour Harris singing The Pain of Loving You. This was great. Timeless. 1987. What decade could this have? This is timeless. And it is a little bit country, it's a little bit bluegrass. Really fun to hear all of the mixes of the voices and the instruments backing them up. It was fun to hear that viola. In fact, now that I think about it, some of the instruments are actually sort of imitating their voices. So we've got the viola down there, but then we also have, like the mandolin up there for Dolly, and then the acoustic guitar, maybe the steel guitars in the middle for Emmylou. That's really, really neat. So these ladies, they wanted to work together. Did they know each other personally? Does anybody out there know the story of how they got together to do this? What an interesting combination. They're just different enough to fit perfectly together. So if you know that story, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And how did they enjoy their time working together? And did they do this again? Because I know that this came out in 87. Is there another album that they did together? Well, this was just a joy to hear because I love instruments that come together to form their own sound, whether it's instrumental or vocal. So I love choral groups that can do that. Perhaps that's why I like things like bluegrass, because it's a tight ensemble, a small group with different voices coming together to form that sound together. But then also vocal groups like barbershop, although they tend to sound more similar. No, you know what? I'm going to stand by this. The different tones, even with that, the only thing they share that's similar is just that they're human voices. So these three women coming together, this is really satisfying. So thank you for listening along with me. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay and keep listening.